Welcome to the Full Moon Film Buff, episode 158. We're going to talk about Lycan Colony from 2006. I watched the Riff Tracks version on Amazon Prime. I had not seen this before. As always, we start with the prominent crew and cast. You can find links to a more complete credit list in the show notes. This film was written and directed by Rob Roy. I could find no information on the special effects. Rob Roy worked every behind-the-camera job on this film, which makes me think he might have done the special effects. This is the true mark of an indie filmmaker. I could find nothing about him. We'll see him again when we get to the 2024 film American Werewolf. The cast includes Bill Sykes as Dr. Dan, Sean Burgoyne as Dave, Kadrolsha Ona Carroll as Sandy, Bill Finley as Doug Allen, Gretchen Weisiger as Russ Allen, Christy Lynn as Athena, and Sophia Wong as the Shaman. Kadrolsha Ona Carroll built a diverse career in film and television. She's made uncredited appearances in major films like Ghostbusters, Independence Day, multiple MCU movies, the first 3 John Wick films, and Godzilla vs. Kong. Her TV work includes multiple roles on Game of Thrones, Stranger Things, The Walking Dead, Supernatural, and The Witcher. She also works as a paranormal investigator. Christy Lynn is an actress, stuntwoman, and second unit director. Her career combines her athletic background with acting abilities. She was a professional fitness contender, martial arts black belt, and kickboxer. Her most notable film work includes stunts in Edge of Darkness. This film is Bill Sykes, Sean Burgoyne, Bill Finley, Gretchen Weisiger, and Sophia Wong's only film credit. I am going to be brutally honest here. This is not a good movie by any standard. Lycan Colony is what might generously be called so bad it's good. If you're looking for quality werewolf cinema, look elsewhere. But if you enjoy micro-budget horror oddities and films that feel like they were made in someone's backyard with whatever gear that they could scrape together, then this might scratch that particular itch. Just don't go in expecting quality. It is telling that almost all the information you can find out online about this film comes from the Riff Tracks version. It wasn't released on DVD until after Riff Tracks kind of resurrected it. Let's review the synopsis. The film opens with 3 hunters chasing a young boy. But the boy is a werewolf, and soon they are all torn to pieces. We shift focus to Dr. Dan, a brain surgeon who killed a patient on the operating table while he was intoxicated and now lives in a small town. Dan's son, Stu, hooks up with next-door neighbor, Sarah. She partially transforms into a werewolf while they make out in a cemetery. She bites him hard enough to draw blood. That very night, Stu begins to feel the effects of lycanthropy. Dan attends an AA meeting with his sponsor, David. Afterwards, they grab dinner and coffee at a dive bar, which probably isn't what the AA recommends you do. They encounter siblings Doug and Russ, who arrive in this seemingly quiet small town searching for their missing father, who disappeared in the surrounding woods. Turns out that Dr. Dan knew their father. Small world. The barkeep has the missing man's watch on him. He reveals he found the watch on their dad's corpse. Then he turns into a werewolf and kills Doug. Russ fights off at least 3 werewolves with her sick fighting skills before escaping in her car. Back home, Stu threatens his mom before she recognizes him. Dave reveals that he's a nice werewolf when he helps Sandy change a tire. They end up at Dr. Dan's house. Dave helps Stu with his transformation and then explains this film's lycanthropic lore. Dave takes Russ to meet Athena, the pack's elder, who tells her the story of how they came to be werewolves. We'll go into detail on both of those later. Russ lays out her impressive array of weaponry and gears up for battle. They do some hiking and rock climbing to get somewhere, I don't know. An indeterminate number of werewolves show up, I couldn't keep track. A very hard to follow fight scene ensues, which Russ wins. Athena shows up to lick Russ's wounds, to heal them, The spirit grandmother shows up to take away the evil werewolf's lycanthropy and bring Doug back from the dead. Why she didn't do that before, I don't know. Russ and Doug kill the villain. Now, rather than elaborate practical effects, this film relies heavily on quick cuts, shadowy lighting, and suggestion rather than showing the transformation. While this restrained approach can work well in horror cinema, I've praised it before, budget constraints are much more apparent here than any deliberate artistic vision. There are 2 makeup looks, and neither of them is good. The first is to cover the torso with body paint and then put on a full head Halloween mask, evoking the low-budget aesthetic of 1987's Cross of the Seven Jewels. The second presents what amounts to a fursuit that could easily blend in at any furry convention. Both made me laugh out loud the first time they appeared on screen, which I don't think is the effect they were going for. Now, Lycan Colony does explore werewolf colony dynamics in interesting ways, but with mixed results. The film portrays werewolves as cursed beings who have established a functioning community, a compelling premise that unfortunately falls short of its full potential in execution. The colony's origin story traces back to an indigenous person who became a victim to the Wendigo spirit, creating a unique supernatural foundation for the town's lycanthropic population. This near universal werewolf population of residents creates some logical inconsistencies in the plot. If virtually everyone in town shares this supernatural condition, then the absence of a local doctor makes perfect sense. But then why would outsiders like Dr. Dan and his family be brought into such an insular community? The film does succeed in using this backstory to explain Sarah's social interactions with Stu. Her behavior stems from inexperience with non-lycanthropic males, having grown up surrounded by werewolves who were already aware of her true nature. This little detail adds depth to what is otherwise a pointless romantic subplot, but it feels accidental rather than intentional. The Wendigo-based lycanthropy creates interesting departures from the traditional werewolf mythology. Without lunar influence, these werewolves possess voluntary transformation abilities, giving them greater control over their supernatural state. The film also abandons the classic silver vulnerability, instead showing Russ dispatching werewolves with conventional weapons alone, which strips away some of the mystique, but maintains practical storytelling momentum. So, if you like lycanthropes, like, share, and subscribe. Contribute your thoughts and additional observations in the comments below. Let me know what I missed or if you noticed something else. Next, I plan on discussing Skinwalkers from 2006. There are a lot of 2006 werewolf movies. Keep your eye on the moon, a silver bullet in the chamber, and we'll see you back next episode.